Alright guys, so this video's come out of the blue randomly, but I've been waiting years for something like this to happen, or at least the past 2 years. I can't even speak, let's just go straight into it. Basically, this is not clickbait, the GTA 4 beta build just got leaked, oh my goodness, from the Devkit. A Devkit from 2007, November of... I think November 22nd of 2007, so that is crazy. So this is not going to be a full in-depth look because stuff is of course still being found in this. So this is just some of the stuff that I've found and a couple other people that have found. So there's also going to be stuff that's come out as I'm editing this, so there'll be a bunch of stuff at the end without me talking over it. And let's get straight into this. Firstly, I also want to say that this build, like I said, was 2007, November 22nd, so this build was made in between the time Trailer 2 and Trailer 3 was made, so to put it into perspective, basically, Trailer 2 was very different from the final game. Trailer 3 was pretty close to the final game with a couple small differences, so it's right in between that transitional phase, I guess. That's how I'd put it. Now, this build, I should also say, isn't fully playable. It's only a bunch of recovered files, so unfortunately, there's a bunch of files that are missing, but there's also a bunch of files that are there, so that's really cool, but it's not playable. You can't boot up an Xbox 360 and play this, unfortunately. We can only dig into the files of what was found and recovered. Firstly, I want to talk about weapons. Firstly, we got the silenced pistol. There it is. Oh my goodness, after seeing that in that one tiny screenshot where we couldn't see barely anything, we finally got it. And this actually isn't too surprising to me. It's not much too new because we've had some brilliant model makers make some recreations of it in the past. So I've had a pretty good look at what it looks like. And the fan creations are really close to how it actually looked like. So that's really cool to see. And but it's really cool that we have the official model finally. And we also got the nightstick here. That's really cool. Another pretty known cut weapon that the police were originally going to carry. So it's really cool. And also do believe that all of these weapons are fully implemented into the game. Now, of course, like I said, the build isn't fully complete. It's not fully playable, so we can only just look into the files. But I'm pretty sure all the strings for all the stats of these are there. I'm pretty sure at least for the silenced pistol. I don't think they ever implemented a silence feature to work, so unfortunately that isn't in this. I don't know, but a lot of the other stats here, for like the damage and the range and all that, the ammo, of course, they're all in here. And all the damage for the melee weapons, like I said, with the nightstick. And we've also got the golf club, and I think some people did believe that this was going to be a weapon in the Ballad of Gay Tony. I didn't know it was going to be in base GTA 4, so this is kind of surprising to me. I never knew about this. Yeah, I knew there were golf clubs in the files, but I didn't know it was going to be an actual weapon, so that's really cool. So I'm not sure if this model was used in the Ballad of Gay Tony or was in the final game's files, but were left unused. So aside from that, I don't think there's really any other changes. I do know the beta MP5, unfortunately, it's still the MP10, like the final game, but it's got the beta texture, so this weird temporary texture that was in this one screenshot. It's like that. We got that. We don't have the actual beta model, unfortunately, the actual MP5 model, the more well-known one. And alongside with that, we unfortunately also don't have the Zastava M70, the beta AK-47. It's still the final one in this build. And also, we don't have beta Nico because the playerped.rpf with all the files for Nico is unfortunately not in this build. So those two things that I really wanted to see, we didn't get. And,
Oh, so close!
Up next, let's look into some of the characters. I've only got a couple here for you right now, but we've got Beta Michelle, wow, from Trailer 2.
Oh, honey!
That's really cool seeing that. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, she actually looks a lot more closer to the final version than I thought. The trailer, like the quality and the lighting of the trailer made her look really different, but she is actually really different, but it's really cool seeing this. Yeah, that is insane, seeing this model, and man, she actually does look a lot, I always thought she looked really ugly in the original version. I was like thinking, yeah, I'm glad they cut her. She looked really ugly in that trailer. But again, she looks different since we have the actual model. I think she looks a lot prettier. Maybe even more so. No, not more so than the final model, maybe in some ways. But I really like the hair model for that. And I think it's pretty similar, the hair to the final version. But speaking of the hair, here is her without the actual hair model. Kind of like the one artwork of her. So there's that. That's really cool to see as well. Up next, we got the two hosts for the in-game TV show called The Men's Room. We got Baz Rutten, the real-life celebrity, his Ivy model, and we've also got Jeremy St. Ives. It's really cool. We already had the cutscene models of the Ballad of Gay Tony models. They were left in the files of the final game for the Ballad of Gay Tony, their cutscene models. But here we've got both their in-game models and their cutscene models for them. Now for Baz, there were originally some accessories for him, like the boxing glove and some other stuff that he has left over in the textures for the Ballad of Gay Tony model. But unfortunately, we don't have those here. Unfortunately, we don't have the models. We still only have the textures that were in the Ballad of Gay Tony's final game in the files that went unused. So that's unfortunate, but it's really cool that we got both these models. And if you didn't know, Baz Run and Jeremy St. Ives, their in-game models were used for, I believe, for actually testing purposes in the development phases. They would use these models for testing. I also want to point out for Baz Run a couple of things with his textures. One, his face texture is actually in a really good quality. The Ballad of Gay Tony version, his version, that model is textures for his face. They're pretty low quality, unfortunately, but his textures here, they're really nice quality. I was very shocked to see it like that. That's crazy. And also, we've got in his textures for his arms and all that, for his chest, you can see he's got, yeah, textures for his chest and all that. It's kind of surprising. There's no chest modeled under him in his model, so I wonder if there was actually some version of him where he didn't have his shirt on, or some other ped where this texture came from that's shirtless, where this is used. I don't know. That's probably the case. Up next, we got, this one was found by, good friend of the channel, good friend of mine, Brian DeRosa, aka Midsummer Liberty City. Here is, one of the Busker models, a young version. But there he is right there. That was found here. Also, we got the texture for Packy's Beta t-shirt. As you can see here, I've applied it to the model here in the screenshot. That's really cool. We've seen in a couple other promo screenshots, beta screenshots, so it's really cool to actually get this texture. I'm pretty sure it was in there as like one of the spec maps texture or whatever for the detail maps, if you understand what I'm saying. But it was in the final game kind of, but it was just using for whatever, yeah. Now, a couple other things I want to mention, a few small oddities. For some reason, in cutscene_Bulgarin Hench, the guy that tries to knife Nico in the Russian Revolution mission, that guy in the cutscene, he's got a bunch of random textures in his file, and I don't know why. They're not even Russian pairs. I don't know why. That's kind of strange. I don't know. I know the reason why I went and looked into him, because I know there was a beta texture for his his shirt, jacket, there was originally going to be, there's a different texture in one of the screenshots, so I wanted to see if that was in here, and I just found a bunch of other random textures, so that's weird. Why? Now, these textures, I do recognize the ped. I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head the name of the ped models, but these guys did appear in the final game. But I don't know why these random peds just are in this guy's file. I don't know why. A couple other things I want to say that I did check, which I don't believe have any beta versions before you ask me. There's no beta version of Ivy, Johnny, there's none of him or Luis. I checked those two. The textures do appear to be the same as their final versions that appeared in GTA 4. Not the episodes from Liberty City versions, of course, but from GTA 4, no, they do appear to be just the same Ivy versions that appeared in the final version of the base game. I also did check M_Y_Jim Fitzgerald, the fat, white, bold version of him in GTA 4, of course. Just like the two protagonists that I said before, he's the exact same. I was hoping maybe there'd be some other clue that would help us to solve the mystery on why he was so different, or even just some other early version of him, but no, he appears to be the same. I also checked Jimmy Pegorino's model, and I did not notice anything different with him. He appeared to be the exact same as the final version. I checked both his cutscene and in-game models. I think all the textures were the same. There might be some differences. I didn't really think so. I did notice that in the final version of GTA 4, the PC version, there's another suit in his in-game model, another suit texture, but that didn't appear to be in here, so that's kind of interesting. That wasn't in here. And also, the main reason I checked him was because I know that his head model is different from the cutscene version to the in-game version, and it's the exact same as the final version in this beta build, so there's no differences there. Now, I should also mention that there are some stuff that we can't really look and see what exactly is different. The vehicles especially, we can't see if they're the beta versions or not. We can only look at the textures, because there's no tools that can convert the, the file formats that the vehicles are in. There's no tools that can convert them to the PC version, or that can even just let us look inside and see the model itself. We can't do that, unfortunately. But what we can convert to the PC version are the animations. This one is move underscore combat underscore strafe. This one, I only have a picture of this one by a friend of mine. This one is a little bit more different than the final version. I don't think this stance was in that file. I think it was actually something that's more closer to the actual beta walk that was seen in the first trailer in the final game. I don't know exactly, but there's some different beta walk in there compared to this. Next up, I'm going to put up on screen one of the posts on the GA forums of a couple other radio differences. This is something that doesn't really interest me, but I think it's really cool that this stuff has been found. I think some of the whole audios are in the files as well, so it's possible that they can be restored to the final game, maybe. I don't know how that works, but it's probably possible. It might be a lot of work, though, especially if you're trying to combine it with all the other songs that are in the game. I don't know how it works. Up next is probably the coolest thing in this beta build, and it's that some of the cutscenes are actually extended in this. That's crazy. Now, of course, I can't really pull up the actual full-on cutscene, haven't fully rendered in this game at the time. Like I said, I'm making all this only like an hour after the build just got released, so basically I can play the audio for it. Basically, it's more extended for some cutscenes. Here are some here.
You think you're Mr. Tough Guy? Yeah?
No one does that to Dardan and gets away with it!
Listen, Dardan is a good friend of mine. It was...
Fuck him. You jerk. No. Now I gotta clean that up.
Fuck you, Vicky. I'm fucking soaking here.
Yeah, soaking inside and out.
Fuck you. Fuck all of you. Especially you, Sergey. You worse drunk than me. And you a fag. Your dick don't have ED. You just don't like women.
Whatever, Mel. Looks like you pissed yourself again.
Fuck you. You're a bunch of pussies and fags.
Nice.
I'm going back to the meeting.
Good. Yeah, I'll get you, man.
Yeah, stupid shit. After the war finished, I couldn't...
I also wonder if in this build that if Kate McCreary is actually in that cutscene or something. It's possible, maybe, in that one cutscene, the Mr. and Mrs. Bellick, the ending one, the wedding one. Oh, I can't even speak, guys. I'm sorry that this video's been a whole mess. You can understand why. Up next, we got some beta mobile phone models. So these are very personal to me because this is like the first thing I modded in GA4, the beta phone, or almost like 5 years ago. But here we are with a bunch of these models. So first up is CJ Mobile underscore 01, which appears to be the same thing as CJ Mobile underscore 02. And it's very similar to what we see in the final game's model, but the bottom bit there, it is extended a bit more, so it's asymmetrical. It is different. Also, I can't get the textures working at this time, but maybe in the future, probably in the future, we'll be able to see how these textures look, but I just don't have them at the time of this, as I'm making this. Of course, again, I'm just rushing to get this out as soon as possible. Up next is CJ Mobile 3. It appears to be the same thing as the Wiz phone, which was in the cutscene models of the final game. It was used as the cutscene model, but it was not used as something that you could actually hold, that Nico had, of course, along with the rest of these phones. Next up is CJ underscore mobile hand underscore hand. This also appears to be the Badger phone that was also in the cutscene files of the game. And I'm pretty sure this is the exact same model that appeared in Trailer 2. That's crazy that we have this model scene. That's awesome. Now, the best part of these next couple ones, this is the best part. We've got a bunch of unseen phones. Never seen before, I'm pretty sure. CJ underscore mobile underscore LD underscore 2. That's the first one there, this flip phone. That is awesome. Never knew there was going to be a flip phone in GTA 4. That's really cool. And... kind of reminds me a bit of the one that appeared in GTA 5's prologue, but it's definitely different, I'm pretty sure. Up next we got is CJ Mobile underscore LD underscore 3, and this one is pretty similar to a cutscene model that was in the final game, cutscene underscore Blackberry. It was in one of the cutscenes where Mallory was holding it. It's pretty similar, but it's definitely different. As you can see, the buttons on them very different, and also you can see these other two are here. And these two on the side, this one there, the third one there, is called CJ underscore mobile underscore top underscore 2. And then the other one there, CJ underscore mobile underscore 4. Now, I don't know why they're like this, why they're just halves of the phones. Maybe it was supposed to be animated somehow, where he flicks it open or flicks it closes, and it switches to that first model there, CJ_mobile_LD2. I don't know. Again, this also, I'm not sure if these models are 100% converted correctly, so maybe part of the models are missing for some of these. But, they do appear to be correct, I don't know. But I presume this is what they are supposed to look like. Now, that's it for this video. If there's any more finds, then I'll put them on screen. Of course, this is just a quick look at a bunch of stuff. This is not supposed to be a professional, full video. Looking in a deep analysis, dig into every crevice of this build. Of course, this build just came out about, like, an hour, 2 hours ago at the time I'm recording this. So, that's crazy. Yeah, I'll see you guys, in the next GTA 4 video. We'll actually have a deep look into these. This is crazy. And of course, I know I've been away from GTA 4 for a long time. I probably will explain that sometime, but I do intend to get back into it because of this. If I have time, but I'm kind of out of time right now. But bye.